Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing NIO and more specifically discussing Cathie Wood's take on NIO. Not so much if she's going to invest in it or whatever, because that's irrelevant at the point. We're more so looking at the inside of her and of course analyzing that insight. So we're going to go over that. We're going to talk about NIO. It's made a pretty good recovery this month. Earlier this month, I bought 100 shares at $34.50 and that position's up pretty good. Unfortunately, I made a covered call against that and that one's down pretty bad, but I'll keep rolling that just so you guys know my position here before we get into the video. But before that, I want to show you guys promotion from Webull right now. You can get up to freaking 60 free stocks up here, okay? You could get up to 60 free stocks by however much you deposit. You need at least 30,000 to deposit though, but even if you don't do that, you still get your standard like 2 or 3 free stocks, which are valued $8,000 to $2,000. So you get at least 24 bucks just by signing up with the link down below. But if you're interested in this and have a bigger amount of money, I just wanted to show you guys this. I don't really get anything from this, but I do think it's a good opportunity. All you have to do is go to the promotions page, then click on this one and you can sign up there. Same thing with the Tesla Model 3. You can get a Tesla Model 3 if you complete this one as well. So yeah, I just want to show you that, but let's get back into the NIO discussion now. So as we all know, NIO sales in China have been doing pretty well, even with the chip shortage, which seems to be a little bit of an issue and becoming more of an issue. In April, we saw that the numbers did slow down from March, and they said that is probably because of the chip shortage, generally speaking. But the numbers that we love to see is basically every single month we are doubling, tripling, maybe even more on some months, the 2020 numbers. That's something to really take a look at. And this number is only going to continue to grow as the market evolves and as the NIO ET7 comes out. Okay, this is set to roll out in 2022. And this is a very sharp looking car starting at $69,000 US dollars, that is. And this will be introduced into the China market. This is all China sales at this point, and that's really the main discussion of what Cathie Wood was trying to say in this interview. So let's go ahead and check out her take on how the China EV market is going to evolve, and of course we're going to analyze what she's saying and if I agree with it or not.
Is the Chinese market at risk for Tesla?
I think the China is going to favor its local producers like NIO and others, XPeng. And I think they're granting subsidies to NIO, which is the battery swap company, even on its very high-end cars, which they are not granting to Tesla. So it's obvious, and it has always been obvious, that China would favor a local producer. But what we are seeing from China, and particularly Tesla, is exports into Europe. Where it does not yet have a plant. And what we're hearing is especially in Germany, but all over Europe, where their standards are extremely high for cars in terms of design and performance, that they would prefer cars from Shanghai, which is a much newer plant. And
so the main thing there besides the Tesla talk is of course that little NIO snippet there of China preferring their car brands obviously over America car brands. They want to be known for exporting everything. They are the main exporter of the world, the entire world. But that's very understandable. NIO, XPeng, any other companies that are going to be evolving out of there that are solely on EV, they want to help them first. They're not going to help Tesla first. They're definitely not going to help any other American company. But that's really going to help everything up. And at least in my opinion, I think is really going to be showing through in the next 5 to 8 years. Once we get closer to 2030, where China, first of all, wants to have a massive amount of their cars be electric, but also the China car brands could potentially account for 60% of the new energy vehicle market. And if that is the case, this is why NIO stock might look expensive now. But as we see these deliveries start just turning to the 10K mark, 15, 20, and we start seeing exponential growth through this line, this stock is going to look really cheap in the next few years. This might be one of the most fundamentally sound in the next few years, backed by, of course, the juggernaut in China, which is kind of kicking America's butt in every single way right now. Now, I do also want to look at the chart here to have some realistic outlooks here. We're not just going to say price target $200 like unfortunately I see a lot of people have. They have their same video title, NIO stock price prediction, and then they say $120, $140 with no technical analysis or fundamental analysis at all to back that. While it would be awesome to see, we obviously see that did not happen when they said that, and all that did was create this crazy wave, and now we're in, unfortunately, a pretty bearish trend. And now we are breaking out of it, which is a good news, but the realistic price levels that I could see this going to, and that's just straight from Fibonacci retracements, would be $55, or more specifically like 54.5. But that takes us to this level right here that I put, and this just so happens to be that point where I think that we shoot up to, and this is going to be either resistance or it's going to turn into a support. So it's either going to bounce up then bounce back down and channel in this range, or we're going to see it roll off right now. Hopefully we don't see that, because we have been seeing this for months, basically 6 months now, where we've seen lower lows and lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And now we've actually broken out of that. We have a higher high. We're back up to where we were just a few months ago. So this is a real moment of truth here. If we get a correction back down here, the downtrend continues, and we continue to trade in this range, which could be continued for years or months or whatever, in a channel all the way down probably into the 20 range. Now, if that happens, oh well, I'm going to buy more. But I think something more possible to happen is we get to the 54.50, 55 range, and then we channel in a range between 55 and 65. Now that also correlates a lot with other market analysts, that if we go on this level, we could see pretty much all these big banks, Citigroup, Bochum, Morgan Stanley, the list goes on. We could see their price ranges range anywhere generally from like $50 to around $60, $65. There's some other ones outside of that range, but generally $50, $60. It's somewhere between there, because that's honestly the value right now is kind of where it belongs. We're still priced into the future at that price, and technical analysis says that that's how it should be as well. It also goes all the way back into other previous times when this acted as a resistance line. It also acted as a support line a lot. So the 55 is really that number to look out for. We got to see what's going to happen with the 55 number, because I think that this is going to be a huge number. The bulls versus the bears starts here. Right now, all we've really seen is just a shift out of that EV market. Tesla's gone down, NIO's gone down. Pretty much all the car manufacturers, the EV car manufacturers, have gone down in the same time frame. So I'm fairly confident that I could say that this thing deserves to be at around $60 going into 2022, at least $50 to $60. And if we look at that from where we are right now, $55 gives us 15% return, 60, we're around 25% return. So there's still a lot of upside on this bad boy, even though we are up. How much are we up here? We're up 34% already. So I could see this thing, at least my position, going up to 50% profit by year end. So I think this is one of those slow chuggers that's going to be very fun to watch over the next few months. And I do think that China market share is going to expand drastically, and NIO is going to expand into the European markets very, very fast, eventually into the American markets. Hopefully, I like to see their cars out on the real roads around where I am, so I can actually see the product in person. But then at that point, everything else is just political. It's just going to be like Alibaba with all their political nonsense between the tensions between China and United States. All of that is going to correlate into the stock price as well. That is another reason why I think we're in a downtrend. Whenever we see negative things against the trade war or China v. US, anything like that, that causes a world of issues and a world of FUD, I guess, fear, uncertainty, and doubt within the China stocks. So those are the main things to look out for. That's my price prediction, at least $55-$60. That's where I hope that this thing gets back into this channel specifically, so we could just trade in the channel until we're ready to expand again, which I think will be in 2022, considering NIO is set to double their deliveries during the next 2 years. So that's going to do it. Remember, if you guys want, get those stocks on Webull, get stocks on Robinhood. I have stocks pretty much for everything down below. Go ahead and do that if you're interested. Otherwise, hopefully you guys' positions stay green for the rest of this week. We've had a pretty good month so far, and I hope that continues for you all on NIO and any other of your investments that you might have. So have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.